Hi, I'm Robin Schultz with the Hoover Channel. Don't forget to hit subscribe so you'll always know when we have a new video coming up.
We will call this Monday, March 9th council meeting to order. Ask the clerk to call the roll.
Council President Middlebrooks.
Here.
Council Pro-Tem Driver. Here. Councilmember Schultz.
Here.
Councilmember Smith.
Present.
Councilmember Lovell.
Present.
Councilmember Murphy. Councilmember McClinton.
Here.
Okay, if you will all rise for the invocation from the city clerk, and then we have some scouts here with us that will come down if y'all will introduce the troop that you're with, and then lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance after the invocation.
Dear Heavenly Father, we just thank you for this wonderful city, and we thank you for all the blessings that we receive. We thank you for the leaders and for all the decisions that they make, and for them having wisdom and understanding as they make them. In the name of your Son, Jesus Christ, amen. Amen.
We're with Pack 119.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good job, guys.
Y'all want to get a quick picture? Yeah. Come on down. Okay, council should have received the copy of the agenda. Do I have a motion for approval?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any comments from council before we vote on it? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right. We will move on to announcements and reports. Before I hand off the meeting to the mayor, please bear with us tonight. We have a pretty lengthy pre-meeting agenda. So, Mr. Mayor, this time I'll hand off the meeting to you.
Mr. President, council members, this past weekend, I love to talk about the standard of excellence, and we had a standard of excellence all weekend. Saturday, I enjoyed going down to the BJCC, seeing the girls Hoover High School basketball win the 6th straight state championship, which is really a phenomenal, regardless of what level you're playing in sports. To win 6 years in a row is really unbelievable. And the boys, unfortunately, came a little bit short, but a heck of a year to come in second in the state. And then as I was watching those ball games Saturday, my wife was at Thompson High School watching the preliminaries for the Miss Alabama teen. And I did attend yesterday. And again, we love winners. And Greer Feldman, who's with us tonight, is the new Miss not only Hoover teen, she is now representing the state of Alabama as Alabama teen. So let's give her an applause. Julie Bentley, come down here, please. I know you love this. All right, Julie Bentley became the director of the Miss Hoover Teen in 2018. With her dedication and knowledge of the pageant world, she is from Clanton, Peach Queen. She has built the Miss Hoover Teen program into one heck of a success story. Caitlin Mateer was named Miss Hoover in 2019 and again in 20 due to the pandemic, and then completed Miss Alabama in 21 and was named 4th alternate. Jella Duncan was named Miss Hoover's teen in 2022 and then was named 1st alternate to the Miss Alabama's teen in the 22 pageant. Abby Stockard, named Miss Hoover 24, Went on to win Miss Alabama 24 and Miss America in 2025. Allie Menz served as Miss Hoover Teen in 24, named Miss Alabama Teen in 24, and first alternate in the Miss America Teen 2025, and now serves as Miss Hoover 26 and will be going for Miss Alabama pageant in June. Emma Terry, who's sitting up front here, served as Miss Hoover in 2025, then named Miss Alabama in 25, and named fourth alternate in the Miss America pageant. And now Greer Feldman, Miss Hoover Teen in 26, and yesterday named Miss Alabama Teen. She'll be competing for Miss American Teen 2027 in the fall. These young ladies are more than just title holders. They are just tremendous ambassadors for the city of Hoover. And I just wanted you guys, I asked them yesterday after the pageant, please come tonight. And Julie, I want y'all to come up front. Girls, please come up front with me. We've got some special gifts for you. This is better than your husband, Julie. Play, I love and agree. I talked about the standard of excellence and love winning, and now to have Miss Alabama, who was Miss Hoover, and to have Miss Alabama Teen, who was Miss Hoover Teen. We're doing something right in the city of Hoover, so we love it. So thank you very much. We appreciate you all. Congratulations. Thank you.
I'll make it quick. There's a lot going on, but as successful as this has been, it's because Hoover attracts the best. And we have girls from all over the state that want to compete here because we have a city council and a mayor and a fire chief. He doesn't have a choice. And a police chief and city attorneys that will help make 501c3s for our girls who, poor Steve is on speed dial. I'm like, Steve, I need an ad. Mr. Gene, I need something. You know, Mayor, I need something. Miss Stephanie, I need something. So I hate to drop some names and not others, but Amanda Borden and Melanie Posey and who else did it? Aaron. Aaron did a mock interview for Greer a couple weeks ago. So there's always people, if I call, and I hate to say this, but I've never been told no. And I don't mean that in like an arrogant way, just that everybody wants to help. So I can't do it if I don't have the support and backing of the city. So thank you so much for everybody that helps.
Hey, keep winning.
Thank you. Keep winning.
I think the scouts are next on the agenda. Yeah, I think.
I'd like to introduce the Scouts from Troop 119. If you guys want to stand for us, thank you so much for joining. They earned their community badge this evening and led the pledge. They meet out at St. Mark's, and fun fact, they're called Troop 119 because they're on Highway 119. So thank you for being here.
Next, I'd like to recognize the Hoover High School Ethics Bowl program, and please invite coaches Reed Lockamy, Anita Berngarmer, and Jake Smith, please come down. The Hoover High Ethics Bowl team won this year's state competition, hosted by the Philosophy Department of the University of Alabama on Saturday, February 7th. It marks the fourth consecutive title. That's right. Unbelievable. Yes. Fantastic. Please come up and introduce the group, please.
Okay, will do. Thank you, Mayor Durzis. Yes, we're really pleased to be here, and thank you to the city for taking time to recognize our Ethics Bowl program. If you're not familiar with Ethics Bowl, don't blame yourself. It's a brand new thing in the state of Alabama just for the last 5 years. Ethics Bowl is all about learning to listen to people when we see things differently. It's all about learning to communicate respectfully with people when we see things differently. It's all about learning to work together with people when we see things differently to come to a good solution. I think all of us in this room can probably agree that's a pretty important set of skills for young people to have. So our team this year comprises 6 students from Hoover High School. Akil Patel and Evie McDaniel were our team captains. Judah Posey and Gavin Tidwell, our seniors in the program, who did great this year. And then Emily Ann Corbetta and Milana Kazik Hall are our 2 freshmen in the program, and no pressure on them to keep the program alive next year. So I want to say congratulations to all those kids for working so hard. Coach Bumgarner, who is here with me, and unfortunately Coach Smith couldn't be here. This is something that coaches and I do as a labor of love. There's not a stipend for this right now yet. But I'm hoping one day to get one for Coach Bumgarner and the wonderful work that she does on this program. So thanks to everyone for recognizing our program.
Are there any of the students here?
Yeah, several of the students are here, so welcome. Yeah, so students come on up and get a picture. Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, at this time, I will call down Chief Morris, who will give us a report for the 2025 stats for the police department. It's hard for me to say statistics for some reason, so.
Thank you, Mayor, Mr. President, council members. Just a quick, we have a little PowerPoint we may be able to pull up also as well, just highlight a few stats and just in brevity. We continue to have a great decreases in our crime rates in the city, and just please, it's a privilege for me to work with the men and women of the department because it's truly it's their dedication, it's their effort, it's the tireless work they put in and day out that keeps our community and our citizens safe. But our first slide, you'll see our population growth kind of 2025. From last year to this year, we increased about 1,400 residents in the city. That's important to note with our calls for service. The next slide you'll see is our calls for service for 2025. We increased again, a little over 1,000 calls for service. We had 154,647 calls for service. That's a large number for a city. Look, we're no different than any other size city of us in the country. But when you think about 154,000 calls for our men and women to respond to, that's significant. And again, they work tirelessly to keep our city safe. If you look at the next stat is our crime stats year after year for the last 18 or so years. If that's a busy chart, but you look at the bottom at 2025, the third row from the bottom, you'll see 3 green lines across that row. Those are decreases, and they're actually decreases the lowest point in 18 years in those categories for burglaries, UBEVs, and theft of property from vehicles. Again, you can see it was a negative 14% decrease, a negative almost 12%, and a 5% decrease from last year. And historically, the decreases are staggering for 18 years. I mean, 77%, 58%, 39%. Most cities do not see those type of crime reductions year after year. So again, it's just it's a testament to the men and women of the department that keep continuing to be proactive in their efforts and continue to have our crime rates reduce. On the next slide, you'll see just our cases generated for the year, 8,795 cases for the year of all reports. That's a significant number that our officers are working year in and year out, day to day. And then the last slide there is just our citations and warnings and accidents for the year. We issued 15,941 citations. We wrote 8,431 warnings, and we worked a total of 3,801 accidents. Again, I can't brag upon the men and women of our department enough for the things that they do, the tireless efforts that they do to continue to keep our citizens and our community safe. Again, most cities are not this fortunate. And that's just a very brief overview for the year, and I thank you for giving me the time.
Thank you, Chief. It's not an accident that they keep lowering. It's to the testament to you guys, the leadership and the people that are on patrol every day in our schools every day. They, all of our guys do a phenomenal job, so thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
This time I'll ask Blake Miller to come up. He'll give us a NCFI update and a Hoover East update.
Thank you, Mr. President, Council, Mayor. I'd like to introduce one other excellent piece that we have as part of the City of Hoover as one of our teammates. So the NCFI project is a pretty large project that we have going on at the Public Safety Center. We determined real quick that we needed some assistance with that. And so we employed the help of Lemoyne Program Services to help us with the program management of this project, the construction project. And behind me is Bill Heath. So I'll turn it over to Bill in just a second. But immediately following this one, we also employed Mr. Heath's services to help us with the Hoover East Sports Park. So we'll get an update from him for that project as well.
Thank you, Blake. City Council, Mr. Mayor. So we awarded the project back in the fall and have gotten underway. If you've been out by there lately, you've seen the fence has gone up isolating the construction area. And this is as you see on the screen, the new two-story addition on the east side of the Public Works building. All of that you see new will service the NCFI along with expansion and renovation of their space on the interior. So we are just in the earliest stages, getting ready to start our deep foundations. We had to work with internal and external teams to reroute the 911 and all the other low voltage services in and out of the building. So we're near the completion of that step, which will allow us to start the deep foundations. I do want to recognize other team members, our architects, Turner Batson, our general contractors, MJ Harris. We've got an amazing team all working very smoothly together. And we have taken the time that we've had early on in this to achieve a lot of the purchasing and procurement that will be needed for the new building while some of these slower activities had taken place at the beginning of the job. So again, our overall duration for this project is a 2-year window. So we're tracking well towards that as we speak. And the foundations will start going in here in a couple of months. And hopefully by midsummer, we'll start seeing some things go vertical. So very pleased with the entire team. And if anybody had any questions related to the project, be glad to answer. I know there's a few more pictures in the slide if you wanted to flip through to those. But so the yellow there are the areas that we're working. The yellow to the bottom right is the expansion to the exterior of the building. And all the small yellow areas that you see inside are the new areas where we're actually taking the what was the state revenue department's space they've vacated, and we're turning all of that into NCFI space now. Go into the, that would be the interior. The pink is where revenue was. So the orange is old NCFI that we're renovating. While we're giving them new space, we're going to renovate the old. So the orange represents what we call phase 3. But we're not necessarily saving that for the end. Our contractors and architects have worked well to come up with plans that gives many of those things done early and out of sequence to help streamline the completion. Just a couple of screenshots of the work underway. That's, if you were ever in the revenue department, it didn't ever look like that until recently. So it is, they have gotten that gutted. They've got the fence up. We had to create 2 new data rooms to bring all this rerouted data into the building. So it's just a quick photo of that. And if there are any questions related to the project, I'd be glad to answer. I don't want to take up too much time.
Any questions for Mr. Heath concerning NCFI? All right. Thank you, Mr. Heath.
Mm-hmm. And then we also have the privilege of being a part of the team getting the power and lights back on at the Hoover East project. For very briefly, a 30-year-old park The electrical system had just lived out its life. It took a lot of research to determine that. But again, three, as we refer to them, the three hubs out there, hubs A, B, and C, A being the softball fields, B being the baseball fields, and C being lacrosse and soccer. And so it's been a process. We awarded that work also in the fall after considering direct design and construct, hiring a contractor. We considered an option from Alabama Power. They presented to us that they could do all of it, not just the lighting. And so upon review of that, found it to be the quickest and best benefit for the city to get us back running at the earliest possible date. So the teams, there's actually 3 or 4 different entities that are parts of Alabama Power. They're working together to bring the project through, lighting, power, and primary service, and they've all worked in conjunction. They have completed the work on hubs B and C, and had we not had weather tonight, I'd be leaving here to go there for the light aiming celebration. So we're doing that tomorrow night. Hubs B and C are completing, and then we have an opportunity with city team members to go through all the facilities that have been turned off for a year and get those restarted so that when we open them back up to the public for use, that they will, concessions, all those things we intend to have online. Hub C being the last, some pictures of, I'm sorry, Hub A being the last, just working from east to west, and they have just completed the lighting portion of Hub A and are working now to complete the power, which will be their final. That includes the training facilities, batting cages in the back of the park, and also adding some additional lighting to better light the park. And we're even putting power poles and lights out to the boat launch out on the Cahaba, so that will be more secure, have cameras for public safety there. So project's come along well. Alabama Power has been a good teammate for us on that, and we're looking forward to wrapping that up the next few weeks.
Very good. What's the target date that families could expect to start playing ball again?
We're going to start playing ball turnover on the 16th of this month for hubs B and C, and by the end of the month for hub A.
Great. Any further comments or questions?
Mr. President, does this mean that they'll be able to play part of spring ball
Yes, sir.
in those fields?
Yes, sir. We've worked close with the Parks and Rec Department to communicate when they can make those fields available to all the different leagues.
That's wonderful. It's a lot sooner than first anticipated.
It is. We had a really good team put together on this. So.
Yeah. Great work.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. At this time, we have a number of people that have signed up for public comments. I'll call in order that we received the request for comment. Each member will have 4 minutes to speak. If you'll come down and state your name and general vicinity that you live at in Hoover, if you're a Hoover resident. First, we have 2 candidates for office. Mr. Lloyd Peoples, running for House District 48.
Thank you very much. I've known Mayor Durzis for almost 10 years now, and I just want to apologize for whatever I did wrong to be speaking on the night and when we have a beauty pageant winner, a Boy Scout troop, and all of this other stuff. So obviously I've done something to make you mad. I apologize for that. So I've never run for office before, and so let me just take a few minutes to tell you who I am and why I'm here. Again, my name is Lloyd Peoples. I'm running for Alabama House of Representatives, House District 48, which covers eastern part of Hoover. I've been a federal prosecutor for 18 of the last 23 years. When I was at the U.S. Attorney's Office, I was the number 2 person in charge of that office for a period of time. And during that time, we had the highest number of prosecutions in any period since before or after. But I didn't just lead from behind a desk. I actually personally appeared in over 250 criminal cases. And one of those cases that I handled was the case that some of you will remember of Camille Cupcake McKinney. We put both of her kidnappers and killers in prison for the rest of their lives without any possibility of parole. I stepped away from being a prosecutor, though, for a period of time to help my dad run his family business. It was a business with about 115 employees, and after my dad passed away, I continued running that business for about 3 years. And so I got to see up close what businesses have to deal with, how hard it is to find good employees, what it's like to deal with regulations, and what it takes to actually help make a business grow. So when I talk about why I'm running for office, that's it. Those kind of things, the things that have mattered to me personally. I've got a son that's at University of Alabama, my daughter's in high school, and I'm concerned about what kind of Alabama and what kind of community they're going to inherit. I want to see them be able to settle here and make their lives here and enjoy what my wife and I have had for the last 25 years in this community. I want to talk about public safety for a second. Our law enforcement officers know it's a small number of people that commit a vast majority of the violent crime. And we need to make sure that our criminal justice system doesn't treat it as a revolving door and that we don't have any excuses. Criminals know that if they're going to be caught and punished, that's when crime goes down. And so as a representative, I want to do what I can to help our law enforcement achieve that goal. And on the business side, I want to do some of the things that this city council has done. This city council has done a great job of encouraging and welcoming businesses to our community, and I want to see that continue on the state level. I want to see Alabama be a place where businesses can relocate, they can move here, they provide good jobs, and they help all of our families continue and enjoy the successes that we've had. My website is Lloyd for Alabama. You can check it out. I've appreciated it. May 19th is the primary. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Peoples. Next, we'll ask for Rodney Walker to come down. He's running for U.S. Senate. Mr. Walker.
Good afternoon, and thank y'all so much for having me here tonight. This is a wonderful crowd here in Hoover, Alabama. I would like to tell y'all that I live in Clay County, which is about 100 miles from here, in a little town called Lineville. We have 750 mama cows on 3,000 acres. We have 26 bulls and about 700 calves. We own Walker Lands and Cattle. We sell cattle to Oklahoma, and then we sell cattle trailers all over the United States, including Hawaii. That's not the only thing we do. We also have Patriot Fueling Centers. We have 5 of those across the state, and we have Patriot Fuels USA, where we ship fuel down the pipeline from American refineries in Houston, Texas, and Louisiana, across American pipelines to 6 southeastern states and 26 terminals. And so that's how the fuel gets from the refinery out to your automobiles through 18-wheelers that bring it to the gas stations. And we try to provide that fuel to a lot of different people. We also have a rock quarry in Wedowee where we provide granite aggregate for paving projects and concrete projects across the state. And we have Hatchet Creek Leasing. I only tell you those things so that you know that I'm not a career politician, but I'm a career businessman. I've worked very hard in the state. We've hired over 1,000 people over my tenure, and we've contributed over $1 billion worth of money to this state's economy. I know what it's like to sign the front of a paycheck so that my employees can sign the back of a paycheck. And that's not just a saying. I want you to know that I extremely care about each and every person in this state. And I don't stand before you and tell you things that I have done in the past. I want you to know what I'm going to do in the future. I want you to know that I'm a helicopter pilot. I did not serve in the military. Both my grandparents served in World War II, and my dad was a member of the 1151st Engineering. I stand for veterans. But I served with the Sheriff's Department in Randolph and Clay County for 8 years as the chief helicopter pilot, and I was able to save a lot of people's lives and did, of course, lose a few along the way also. But y'all, things that are important to me are I-65. We must widen I-65. We've got the metropolis of the state of technological up in Huntsville, and we've got 25 pharmaceutical companies up there. We've got so much stuff going on, yet we have to come down a 4-lane highway to get to the Port of Mobile. We ship goods out of the Port of Mobile like it's crazy. We have Austell Industries. We have cargo containers that are going in and out. We're shipping coal out of there. There's just been a contract issued through the Bureau of Land Management for 45 years of coal to be shipped out of Walker and Tuscaloosa County. That is the things that brings up the gross domestic product in the state of Alabama. We've got a grain elevator that's one of the only coastal port elevators. There's Portland, Oregon. There's Houston, Texas. There's New Orleans, and there's Mobile, Alabama. We've got to protect those coastal elevators, and we've got to work for our farmers and make sure that we can send products to other countries, and we've got to be able to sustain our food supply in the United States. It's important to have a senator that understands those things. There's so many more issues. 2,198,000 acres of our land is owned by foreign entities, and those foreign entities are sitting on top of our crude oil in South Alabama. 72% of our drugs are manufactured overseas. We've got to bring that back to the United States, and we could bring that back to Huntsville, Alabama. It's my desire to work for each and every person in this state, and I ask you on May 19th, please consider Rodney Walker as your next United States Senator, and thank you again for allowing me to be at Hoover tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Walker. Mr. Walker, you ever served as an auctioneer? Well, there you go. I heard the cadence. He got it by naturally. Next, we'll ask Daniel Snyder to come up with Blue Cross Blue Shield Kids Marathon. Come on down.
Right name, but wrong reason.
Okay. Sorry about that.
I'm here for a much more local reason, and I guess asking for a vote in support of the resolution for Laredo Drive that City Engineer Scott Promer has put forward. Resolution number 8781-26. I'm here on behalf of my in-laws. Bill and Debbie Childs live on Laredo Drive, and they have paid me with many, many nights of childcare. And so I'm trying to pay them back right now. And
my apologies for the mistake.
Mr. President, should he wait until that item comes up?
It's up to you. If you'll stop the clock for just a minute. Now, we will offer you a chance to speak on that item. Do you wish to continue with your public comment now? Or you want to come back when the item is heard?
I can wait.
It's your choice.
It's a long agenda. We might forget about you by then.
All right, I'll wait until we get to that point.
We'll ask you to come back.
You called my name, so I was ready to speak.
Okay, next we have Tanveer Pap. I'll get him after this.
Good evening, everybody. Mayor Durzis and the Hoover City Council members, it's an honor and a privilege to join you during the month of Ramadan. For Muslims around the world, Ramadan is a month of fasting, of prayer, of reflection, and charity. From dawn to dusk, from sun to sunset, many of us abstain from food or drink, so many of us are pretty thirsty right now. But Ramadan is much more about hunger. It is time to practice self-discipline, deepen our faith, and grow in compassion for those who face hardships every single day. Eid al-Fitr is a joyful celebration of that spiritual journey. It's a day of gratitude. Gratitude for the strength, for patience, for family, for community, and for the opportunity to begin again with renewed purpose. Before the Eid prayer, Muslims give charity known as Zakatul Fitr, ensuring that those that are in need can also share in that celebration. That tradition reflects some of the most powerful messages of Ramadan. No one should be left behind. While Eid is a religious holiday, its values resonate far behind any faith tradition. Self-discipline, compassion, generosity, accountability, service to others, these are values that strengthen any city and any society. In 1890, Oscar Wilde told us that people know the price of everything and the value of nothing. And here in our city, Muslim residents are business owners, healthcare workers, many of them are sitting right here today, educators, first responders, volunteers, and public servants. We are proud of this diversity that shapes who we are. Our Muslim neighbors are teachers, doctors, business owners, public servants, parents, and friends. They contribute every day to the civic, economic, and the cultural life of this community. Recognizing Eid al-Fitr is not only about acknowledging religious observance, it is about affirming that every community within our city belongs and is valued. We are reminded that regardless of faith, we share generosity, we share self-reflection, we share patience, and we share care for one another. In a world that often moves too fast, Ramadan teaches us the importance of slowing down, reconnecting with matters, reaching out to those around us. As we mark Eid al-Fitr, we are reminded that after this month of discipline comes celebration, after reflection comes renewal, and after that comes gratitude. On behalf of the Muslim community, I thank each and every one of you for giving us this unique opportunity, and we wish you peace, prosperity, and continued unity for our entire city. In addition, I would like to say that I am not running for any office, but I do have to tell you that I have 5,000 employees, and we do contribute over $2 million to the state of Alabama. I'm in the chicken business. But it is my honor and pleasure to invite each and every one of you sitting here to come and open your fast with us. We have 9 more days left. So if you want to come and join us at the Hoover Islamic Center, we would welcome each and every one of you, and we would be honored, and it would be our pleasure to serve you. Thank you so very kindly. Have a wonderful evening.
Thank you, Mr. Tanveer. Mr. Tanveer, I understand you've got quite a large group with you. Do you want to invite them down and grab a picture real quick?
Yes. Whoever is here from the community, can you join us?
My apologies for skipping over the actual representative for Blue Cross Blue Shield. If they want to come down and speak. Anyone here from Blue Cross Blue Shield? No. Oh, there they are. Sorry about that.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. On behalf of Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Alabama and our President and CEO, Tim Vines, we just want to thank you so much for your partnership with our 3rd annual Kids Marathon. As you know, a couple of years ago, the Mercedes Marathon was sunsetted. A part of that was the Kids Mercedes Marathon that we sponsored for years. And when word got out that the Mercedes Marathon was going away, we were contacted by so many parents, teachers, PE teachers, principals saying, what are y'all going to do with the Kids Marathon? You have to keep that going. Because so many of these children went on to do track and field for high school and into college, and it just really teaches children healthy lifestyle habits at a young age. So Heidi Ramey and I talked about it along with a couple of other folks back at Blue Cross, and we're like, okay, we're going to own this, we're going to take it. And thanks to the city of Hoover, we have been able to bring it to Spain Park, and it has grown every year that we've had it, and it is one of the largest kids marathons in the country. So y'all should be so proud of that. Councilman Schultz was there, did a great job speaking on behalf of the city. We had all media coverage from all the local affiliates. Almost 2,500 children participated in the marathon from 72 different schools across Alabama. So that is how huge this was. And just to make things clear, we do not make these children run a full marathon in one morning. They start at school and they complete a mile a week with their PE teacher or parent. And then the final mile is completed at Spain Park. So again, we just want to thank you all so much for your partnership. This was the first year we had a T-shirt contest statewide, and the winner of the T-shirt contest was Luke from Gwen Elementary, first grader, won the whole thing. He got $100, and you would have thought we'd given him $1 million. It was just classic. So thank you so much. Heidi, did you want to say anything at all?
Yes, I just want to thank the entire staff, the entire Parks and Rec staff, Hoover PD, fire. I mean, this partnership, like Sophie said, when we found this out, was ending in the city of Birmingham 3 years ago. We thought we have to keep doing this, and the first place that I thought of was we have to bring it close to our home here in Hoover, where we have our headquarters, and so there was just no question from the beginning. It was a great partnership. And like Sophie said, it has continued to grow, and we could not do it without everybody, without all the Parks and Rec staff, Erin Coball, all her staff, and everybody from PD and fire. And just, I mean, again, as somebody mentioned earlier, if you ask for something, I asked for a podium the night before the marathon. I had it in 20 minutes. So I would also like to give a big shout out to Josh Donaldson at Spain Park High School. He is amazing. But we do have a quick little video that we would love to share with you, just to kind of give you a recap of the day for those that couldn't be there. Thank you.
This is one of the largest kids marathons in the country, and we've only been at it 3 years. What a great tribute to our company. What a great tribute to the kids that live in and around this area, and what a great tribute to their parents, because kids, especially the age of the kids that participate, could not do it without their parents. It makes me feel great, not just about Blue Cross, but about our community. It takes more than just one company to do this, more than one organization. And it's beautiful to see the city come together, Track Shack, all the volunteers. I'm going to give a shout out to the Trailblazers, who are our retirees at Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Alabama. We know without them, this event could not go off, but we need everybody in almost every sort of cause in society. And it's just good to see the city come together with Blue Cross, and it's produced a beautiful day and a beautiful event.
Thank you, Blue Cross Blue Shield, for taking up that mantle, and it's a tremendous event. Thank you for your partnership. And thanks for calling Hoover home. Mr. Schultz, do you have anything to add?
I had a blast doing it, and I got called the night before to participate in that, and it was put together so well by Blue Cross, by the city, by Parks and Rec. Tremendous event. Looking forward to doing it again next year. Thank you.
Did you run?
Next year. Next, I have Tim Mackey, come on down. Mr. Mackey, if you'll give your name and area of town that you live in for the record, please.
I live in Applecross off Valleydale Road on Lake Heather.
Okay.
I can dare say nobody in here wants a sewer pump station next door to their house. That's universal. I understand that. But I would like to have a knock on the door, some kind of warning from Hoover. I literally got a package from my HOA president 90 minutes before it was due. I checked my mail at 10:30 that night. After he had reviewed it, he put it in my mailbox, not through the U.S. mail. So I did not have time to review this. I stayed up all night writing about the birds and the bees, the flowers and the trees, everything they're going to tear up. And I thought, well, nobody wants to hear that. So I talked to my brother, my friend. He said, trust the people, trust them. Trust the city, trust the people that are working, that they hire. But I've fallen through the cracks. This has been 3 years. And they drove an excavator through my yard because the truck they drove through my yard, which is 40 feet away from the right-of-way, the truck and the 5,000-pound dry weight pump slid into the lake, and they needed an excavator to return to take it out. There was a hang tag on my door after this, and it said, we're going to restore it. We're going to restore it. We're going to put up fencing. We're going to put up landscaping. But I've noticed now that the silt fence is gone. There's a project manager. I've called him several times. I've never gotten back from him. So that's why I'm saying I've fallen through the cracks. Looking out my front door, there was a black forest. There were 2 manhole covers. Both of them have a pump in them. So they replaced the pumps. And I'm going to say they put a dance floor at the bottom and a place for a crane at the top, but the people with the cranes did not trust it, so they used a bigger crane. So basically none of it was used. The part of my yard that was left, they took out a couple of big trees. I say big trees because they were big to me. They were important to me. They took those out, and the area in my yard went from complete shade to complete sunshine, and I have bamboo and privet that I really want to grow, but it lives until the end of summer and the ground bakes. So I'm having an irrigation system put in addition to the irrigation system I put in for the constellation down by the lake. They put sod in. So I'm looking at like $10,000. But the biggest thing I want is this screened from my front door. When you look in the front door, you look from my kitchen, my living room, my dining room. You're looking at this thing. But this was the only thing I got from Bama Utilities, and it said that the area will be cleaned up and restored, and new fencing and landscaping. They put up a chain link fence, and I didn't complain about that, nothing. But I couldn't get a hold of the city of Hoover. I paid DSLD Land Design $4,000 for a plan to present to Hoover and to be able to talk to Hoover. I had the project, they had the project manager come out, and he said, sure, this was last May. He said, sure, and we'll do it this fall because it's going to live better. That was last fall. He has done nothing. He's not answering my phone calls. I'm not going to call names because I think this has been passed through a few different people, but I have pictures of a black forest in front of my house, and now it's I can't get anything to grow there, and the pump station comes up way above the fence, and it's really an eyesore now.
Mr. Mackey, when did you say this started, or when did you last contact or have contact with someone from the city?
That was May. May of last year.
May of last
when he said, because I'm trusting these people. I'm trusting that they're going to, honor what I have in writing.
We've had a pretty big turnover since May of last year.
Huh?
I said we've had a pretty big turnover since May of last year. I want to make sure that we connect you with our current city administrator, Mr. Munger, right over there. Mr. Munger, if you don't mind, just point him out.
Hey,
He'll make sure that you get contacted and you talk to someone with city
I really
staff.
don't want anything planted on my yard. I'm hoping for the bamboo and the privet to come back, but at least, maybe behind that.
Yes, I understand. I think our staff will get with you and work that out, okay?
I just looking online last night in the city council meeting. I don't know if this is the right place to come to do it.
If you'll just make sure that our clerk has your contact information, we'll get that to the proper people. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Let's see, we have Mr. Matthew Smith. Matthew, did you want to come now or wait till the? All right, very good. Before we move on to the consent agenda, I want to recognize a couple of special guests. Mr. Joe Reeves, former council member, thank you for coming. And Hoover City School Board President, Mr. Alan Paquette, back there, thank you. Was there anybody that we missed for public comment? All right. We will now move to the consent agenda. We went over all these items in detail on Thursday at our work session. However, if there is we will not deliberate on these items in the consent agenda. However, if there's an item that anyone wants to pull off for deliberation, we will be happy to do so. Is there anyone from council that wants to pull an item off the consent agenda? Seeing none, any from the public? Seeing none, Mr. City Attorney, if you'll read that agenda.
Item 1 is a review and payment of the outstanding bills. Item 2 is approval of the minutes for the February 19 and February 23 meetings of council. Item 3 is Resolution 876826, approving an alcohol license for Beef O'Brady's during St. Patrick's Day celebration. Item 4 is Resolution 876926, which is approving the engagement letter for the selection of Walter Stewart and Kendrick, LLP, for attorney services. Item 5 is Resolution 877026, authorizing the mayor to execute an engagement letter with Bosch Bingham for the provision of governmental relations services. Item 6 is Resolution 877626, authorizing the mayor to execute a general services agreement for the services of Wagner Engineering. Item 7 is Resolution 877126. That's a resolution authorizing the mayor and police chief to execute an MOU with the Alabama Law Enforcement Agency regarding investigations and establishing certain standards. Item 8 is Resolution 877226. It approves the law enforcement personnel work period for overtime pay purposes. Item number 9 is Resolution 877326. It authorizes the mayor to execute an agreement between Crown Castle and the city for dark fiber. Item 10 is Resolution 8774. It authorizes the mayor to execute an agreement between BBH BMC LLC and the city of Hoover containing experiential education for clinical emergency staff. Item 11 is Resolution 877526, authorizing the mayor to execute an agreement between Holston Gases and the city of Hoover for industrial specialty or medical gases. Item 12 is Resolution 877726, and it awards a request for proposal and authorizes the mayor to execute an agreement for SEC Fan Fest to Drummer Boy Productions. Those consist of the consent agenda.
Thank you. Do I have a motion?
Mr. President, I move to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the ayes have it. Next, we'll move on to resolution number 877826, Mr. Attorney.
The first item on the regular agenda is item 13, which is resolution 8778-26, and this is a resolution in consideration and approval of stormwater drainage improvements within the city of Hoover on Chester Street. You want me to take these as a group?
We'll do them one by one since
Okay.
each one has kind of a different public purpose. Take a motion.
Like a motion to approve resolution number 877826.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Mr. Palmer?
Yes, sir. Council, Mayor, thank you. Before I get going, I'd like to thank the staff and the engineering department. Justin Marlin, Rosemary Jen, Keith McKay, and Jason Welch do a great job taking any drainage complaints that come in, going out and evaluate it. At that point, we make a determination amongst ourselves. Does this elevate to the point of potential public purpose? We have discussions with council to get concurrence, and that's how we arrive here. So we have 5 cases for consideration tonight. I just want to make a statement that each one of these cases is unique. It's not a one-size-fits-all, that we go through a process to elevate it to the point of public purpose. There's an active list that we work through. Some get to this point, some actually get denial letters, which once again, we go through with legal counsel to deliver those letters. With all 5 of these, I don't want to get into particulars of budgets, each one, because there is still a process going forward if we're going to bid or seek professional services. So I don't want to just throw a number out and skew that process. So we do have a rough order of magnitude estimate that our department did. And just wanted to state that we feel certain that this will be covered with the miscellaneous drainage budget that has been approved for 2026. So I just wanted to say that before we got going. Also, just to address some of the terminology that I'll be going through, thought I'd just cover that at the beginning. So the design process is multi-step. So we do have a partner with Jefferson County for some of these projects. So they've done what gridded surface, subsurface hydraulic analysis. So that's data that we can use to look at the watershed associated with where any of the complaints come in. So they're willing to share that data with us at the get-go so that we can look at some of the flows. We'll do a survey of the property, kind of get the topo, and then from there, H&H study. So H&H study is a hydrologic and hydraulic. That goes in, takes account of the volume of flow, the rate of flow. Once you capture that and put it into a pipe, now you have to deal with the depth and velocity of that flow. H&H takes account, once you capture that, how you're not just kicking it down the stream and kicking the can, so to speak, to the neighbor who's down the hill. So that'll be part of the H&H process. From there, you'll get into design. You finish the detailed design, and then you're ready to go out for bid and construction. So some of these have to fall through the entire process I just spoke of. Others are different areas within this process, but I'll speak to that as we get to it. Okay. So once again, there's, I'll just read a couple paragraphs here that will apply to all before I get into Chester Street. So these locations to be discussed tonight are located within the Bluff Park or Green Valley communities of Hoover and are currently experiencing stormwater drainage issues. These drainage issues affect the public right-of-way, posing potential safety issues to the traveling public, and in some cases have actually caused damage to public infrastructure. In each of the cases we'll address tonight, the proposed improvements will require work both within the public rights-of-way and associated drainage easements, which could be located on the private property. Because portions of these projects extend beyond the public right-of-way, the City Council must formally determine each of these projects serves as a public purpose before the Public Services Department may proceed. So with that, I'll get into Chester Street. So the city's engineering department conducted an evaluation of the stormwater inlet serving Chester Street and the associated drainage pipe that is located both within the public right-of-way and adjacent easements. The assessment identified inlet overtopping, uncontrolled overland flow, sinkhole formation, stormwater pipe failure, and system surcharging. Based upon these findings, the engineering department has determined that the corrective measures needed should include a topographic survey, engineering design, and construction to mitigate the flooding that occurs within the public right-of-way.
Very good. Are there any comments or
Right on
questions?
cue.
Rain is here, yes. Any comments or questions from council on this issue? Seeing none, any comments or questions from the public on this issue? This is Chester Street. Okay, seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it. We'll move on to resolution number 877926, Mr. Attorney.
This is item 14. It's a resolution. It's quite similar to the previous resolution for approval of stormwater drainage improvements on Glenwood Road.
So make a motion to approve resolution number 877926.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Mr. Promer.
Okay. The city's engineering department conducted an evaluation of the stormwater inlet located in the right-of-way of 1524 Glenwood Road, as well as the associated drainage pipe located both within the public right-of-way and adjacent easement. The assessment identified inlet overtopping, stormwater pipe failure, system surcharging, and uncontrolled overland flow. Based upon these findings, the engineering department has determined that the corrective measures required include topographic survey, H&H study, engineering design, and construction to mitigate the flooding within the public right-of-way.
Very good. Any comments or questions from council? Seeing none, any comments or questions from the public on this issue? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the resolution passes. Resolution number 878026.
This is item 15 on the agenda. It's also a stormwater resolution, and it relates to Napier Drive in the Green Valley area of the city.
Mr. President, I make a motion to approve resolution number 878026.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Mr. Palmer.
Okay, for clarification here, it's affecting multiple streets in the area, and we highlighted Napier, but there's multiple that I'll mention as I go through here. The Green Valley community, located within an area bounded by Patton Chapel Road, I-459, and Tamassee Lane, and Highway 31, has historically experienced stormwater drainage issues during significant rain events. The city's engineering department conducted an evaluation and identified these issues that include collapsed stormwater pipe, system surcharging, overtopping, and uncontrolled stormwater overland flow. The uncontrolled overland flow crosses several public roadways, including Charlotte Drive, Paulette Drive, and Napier Drive, posing safety risks to the traveling public. Furthermore, the uncontrolled overland flow has caused damage to the public infrastructure. To date, the engineering department has conducted a topographic survey, reviewed geisha information, conducted a H&H study, and completed the engineering design plans for this Green Valley stormwater improvements. These documents will serve as the basis for going to bid and construction, which is where we are now, and look to move forward.
Very good. I understand there's about 18 or 19 homes within this.
Correct. So I failed to mention that at the get-go. So in each one of these cases, before we enter into the easements, we will need to get waivers signed by residents. And so in this community, we've gone through and we've highlighted 18 different residents that we'll need to contact and get waivers signed for.
Any other comments or questions from council? Seeing none, any comments or questions from the public? Ms. Smith, come on down. Think you know the drill.
Absolutely. Get an extra minute.
I know, an extra minute, and y'all are a lot friendlier. How about that? I'm not gonna lie. I might even get a handshake while I'm here tonight.
Name for the record, Mr. Smith.
All right, Matthew Smith, live on Paulette Drive. A lot of us have different stories about this whole issue for many, many years. You know, first and foremost, I got to meet you here this evening. Thank you very much. The only thing I think I would ask is a resident is just kind of being informed of timelines along the way, making sure we hear those things. You know, if there's a way to have all the streets possibly in there listed, being included with that. Residents being notified. I know a lot of the time we're not notified when there is work that is done. You know, I still have, from whatever study Mr. Rice did before, if you want to call it that, there's still easement signs in my yard. Still states, I have no idea what they mean. You know, but and then the process along the way with work. And so, but also I want to say thank you. I'm going to say thank you for all of us here who have dealt with stormwater flooding. It's been a hell of a fight and a battle, and you don't know what it means to us. We've had homes flood. I've had my story when I had to live out of my home and my family was separated from me during that time period. We've had many, many losses and more that you can even think of. So thank you from the bottom of our hearts. You talked about a standard of excellence. That's one of my favorite things. My Zoom calls feature that pretty much every single time. This is the standard of excellence that we've been hoping for, wanting and praying for, and needing as residents here. There's a difference between being a politician and being a leader. And right now I see nothing but leadership up here. It's a drastic change, and we thank you all for it immensely, and look forward to seeing the progress moving forward with this issue and getting it resolved once and for all.
Thanks, Mr. Smith. If you go back and watch on Thursday night, so when we were discussing this item, we did ask that the city notify residents, keep everyone informed. So make sure you follow the City of Hoover Facebook page.
Well,
and
let me ask, is there a way to be unblocked? Because I'm pretty sure I got blocked by Mr.
You've been on a tirade in this and blocking on Facebook, and I'm not that active on social media anymore, but I think I'm blocked on one of y'all's pages.
Well,
Do you need to be the same too? I think a couple of us might need to be unblocked if that's possible.
we'll ask that our social media go through and do that. Mr. Bromer?
Yep. So in response to some of the comments he made, this will be a phased project. So we will be starting below Napier Drive and working our way up the hill. So you don't want to solve the problem up top and then not fix everything down below. So it's going to be a phased approach project. In response to notifications, we're actually putting an active plan together. There'll have to be a traffic management plan where we'll go out and we'll mark the streets for alternate flows and warning traffic. So that's all part of the equation here. So just want to let you guys be aware of that. So.
Any further comments from the public? Being none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the ayes have it. We'll move on to resolution number 878126, Mr. Attorney.
This is item 16 on your agenda. It's another stormwater resolution, relates to Laredo Drive area.
Mr. President, make a motion to approve resolution number 878126.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Mr. Bromer.
Okay. The city's engineering department evaluated the stormwater inlet serving the area near 360 Laredo Drive, along with the associated drainage pipe located both within the public right-of-way and adjacent easements. The evaluation determined the drainage pipe has collapsed and is backing up stormwater flow, resulting in public roadway ponding, inlet overtopping, and uncontrolled overland flow. The engineering department has concluded that repairing the damaged pipe and downstream drainage will resolve the flooding within the public right-of-way and restore safe conditions for the traveling public.
Very good. Any comments or questions concerning Laredo Drive from the council? Any from the public?
Come on down.
I'll be quick since I've already been up here once before. I'm here on behalf of my in-laws.
If you'll state your name and general area, please.
Daniel Snyder, and I'm here on behalf of my in-laws, Debbie and Bill, and we just want to say thank you to the new administration for getting this moving so quickly. I know, as you mentioned, there's been a lot of changes, and so we just are fully in support of the resolution, and we'll do anything we can to help move it along as quick as possible. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further comments from the public? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the ayes have it.
Do they have a shovel?
All right. Next, we will move on to resolution number 878226.
This is item 17 in the last of the resolutions related to stormwater, and it relates to stormwater issues at Lester Lane in the city.
Mr. President, I make a motion to approve resolution number 878226.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Mr. Bromer?
Okay.
Last one.
The city's engineering department conducted an evaluation of the drainage inlets along Clearview Road as well as the downstream stormwater piping located within the public right-of-way and easements running parallel to Lester Lane. The assessment identified issues that include collapsed pipe segments, sinkhole formation, system surcharging, and uncontrolled overland flow. The engineering department's recommended corrective action includes review of the existing design plans and soliciting construction bids and initiating the necessary repair work.
Very good. Any comments or questions from the council? Hearing none. Any comments or questions from the public? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the ayes have it. Before we proceed to vote on Resolution 878426, I would like to make a brief statement for the record. I have consulted with the city attorney regarding my participation in this matter. While the legal guidance is clear that there is no law or statute requiring me to recuse myself or abstain from this vote, I have decided to do so based on my own ethical compass and my commitment to the integrity of this body. Because I work closely with this employee outside of my council duties, I believe the best course of action is to step aside. Doing so protects the employee, this council, and the city from even the perception of bias. I maintain my deep respect for this individual and for this body. It is out of that respect that I will be abstaining from this discussion and the vote on this resolution. I will now turn the gavel over to Pro-Tem Driver for the remainder of this item.
Thank you, Mr. President. We'll now take up resolution number 8784-26. Mr. City Attorney.
This is item 18 on your agenda, and it is a resolution which would approve the request to review a decision by the Personnel Review Board of the city concerning an employee.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to approve resolution number 878426.
Second.
Do you have any comments or questions from the council? I skipped over Attorney Brunson. Johnny, would you come up and talk to us about what we're deciding here tonight?
Sure will. While he's coming up to the microphone, Madam President, since he passed the gavel, do you know when you might call for the hearing? Would it be at the next regularly scheduled council meeting, or would it be at a called meeting?
I believe that if we are going to have a hearing, it would be at the next regularly scheduled meeting.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
So a couple of the council members asked me to give a bit of a primer with regard to this item. I don't believe this body has heard this type of issue before. According to the City of Hoover personnel policies and procedures, any employee who is subject to discipline, and there's a little twist to that, is subject to discipline of greater than 3 days is entitled to a hearing before the Personnel Review Board, which was held. If they disagree with that finding, they are entitled to an appeal to the City Council, and that's where we find ourselves today. I say that one twist. There's a little bit of twist to this one, that the board took up that matter even though the discipline imposed was for less than 3 days. However, the board chose to take that issue up, had a full hearing, and then issued a finding. Their job is to issue in part, to issue a finding to determine if the discipline was appropriate that was handed down by the supervisor of the employee. The board affirmed that discipline. In this case, the employee then has a right to advise the council, which they have done. So that's where procedurally, that's how we find ourselves here today. And I'll be glad to answer any other questions. I realize that is just sort of a thumbnail sketch on how we get here.
Any questions from any council members?
I have one question. The option is public, or is there also an option for private? Does either side have that option?
There's a provision before that specifically speaks to how that's handled before the board. There is nothing in the manual that specifically speaks to that as regarding the council. However, those of us on your legal team have consulted about that, and we have two considerations. There are some provisions that would allow us, or of course we can consult with you guys regarding the legal aspects of it. However, we also must comply with the Open Meetings Act. There already are a number of issues related to this specific issue that are in the public domain. There's also a provision in the regulations that require all of the materials to be that are subject to the Alabama Sunshine Law. So the materials, and it's clearly stated in the procedures that those things that on which the board relied or which is being presented to this body are for public review. So those portions, I believe, have to be held in the public. Now, we could, if there were specific items related to legal advice sought by the council, we could adjourn to executive session to take up those limited items.
Mr. President, this, should it pass, this procedure does not qualify for an exemption under the sunshine laws?
I don't, based on the fact that that specific provision in the procedures requires the materials to be open to the public, I don't believe so. Now, I left one portion out, the duty, if you take this matter up, there's two steps to that. The council can choose to take the matter up or choose not to take the matter up. That's step one. Step two, if you choose to take the matter up, there are 3 different steps you can take. You could rescind the board's decision, you can affirm the board's decision, or you can modify the board's decision.
Mr. Attorney, I have my mic off. Can you tell us whether we have the option to remand this matter back to the Personnel Board to enter a written statement of fact?
Yes, ma'am, I believe you do. As you know, our job as your city attorneys in this is sort of twofold. One of those is to represent the city in the hearing before the board, which we did. Subsequent to that, we filed a motion, and I believe the council has the entire package before them, but following the decision, there is a provision in the rules that requires the review board to issue a finding of fact. Upon review of their finding, affirming the decision of the supervisor, we filed a motion to alter or amend that finding, asking for a more definitive finding of fact, and we got a paragraph back that you have now read, I'm sure. But yes, to answer your question, you certainly can.
Would you agree with me that the reason a statement of facts is required is so that the reviewing body, such as this one, or a circuit court, if the appellant were to appeal there, can understand what facts the board relied upon and how those support the decision?
I would.
Would you agree with me that it also ensures due process, procedural due process?
Certainly assist with that, yes, ma'am.
And it ensures that the decision is supported by substantial evidence and is consistent with the law?
Yes, ma'am.
With all that in mind, if we were to send this back to the Personnel Board with the express instruction that we want a written statement of fact as is required in the Personnel Policy and Procedure Manual, what would that do to the timeline that we're facing here for having the hearing completed by a particular date?
While the Policy and Procedure Manual does not speak specifically to that, I believe based on procedure and typical procedure in legal actions that would extend the deadlines. The rules say that the timing starts based at the time of the finding by the board. So the right to appeal starts on that finding of the board. All of the deadlines that we have discussed prior to tonight, I believe, were based on deadlines that started on when the letter of finding was issued by the review board. Had the review board having issued an amended filing, I believe, would extend those deadlines.
Mr. City Attorney, do I need to open the floor for comments from the public if I'm inclined to pass the gavel and make a motion to send this back for a statement of facts?
No, ma'am.
Okay. I believe I'm supposed to pass the gavel to the most senior member.
That's
Can you
correct.
advise?
it'd be my opinion that the most senior member would be Mr. Smith.
We mean it with all due respect, Mr. Smith. So I'll make a motion that we remand this matter back to the Personnel Board and ask that they provide us with a written statement of fact that we can discern from that statement of fact what facts they relied upon in reaching their conclusion so that we can give this an adequate review.
Understood.
And that would be different than the findings that they currently provided.
In my opinion, those are insufficient.
And look, if I, to clarify, to answer your question, Mr. Smith, the council's role is not to rehear the entire issue. The council's role is to review the finding of the review board and to make sure that was properly held and to understand what they base their finding on. And I believe the motion would accomplish that if the board makes that proper finding.
All right, we have a motion to remand the issue back to the Personnel Review Board. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a second. Any comments from the council?
So in this particular case, it going back to them, they're going to give us a statement of facts, which they will bring back to the council. Is that correct?
Well, the motion would be to send it back to the review board and request a more definitive statement of facts, as I understand the motion. Then the ball is back in their court, so to speak, and the timelines will apply. They have to reconvene a meeting in that circumstance. It would be, they would have to reconvene a meeting and amend their findings, in my opinion, based on the request of the council.
And then it will come back here with the statement of facts. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And then we will make a decision based on that. Is that correct?
That's correct. You will be back in the same spot where the council can determine, first of all, if they want to take up the appeal. And then secondarily, if you do take up the appeal, one of the three actions that I suggested earlier, and that would be to either rescind, to affirm, or to modify.
And to confirm, this will in no way take away the due process of the individual. Is that correct?
I think it does the opposite. I think it ensures the due process.
Okay.
Madam Pro-Tem, before you vote, let me just add something. We all recognize that probably the guidelines that we're operating under, as Mr. Brunson said, trying to give you some ideas, and by taking this action, the council is a legislative body, and you always have the authority to interpret your own statutes and resolutions and what's intended. And while this was done in 1995, that's still what you're operating under.
Maybe
So
2025?
this group has the opportunity to clarify. By passing this, if this passes by a majority, what you're clarifying is that you have the ability under the act to remand this, and then the Personnel Review Board should act in accordance with it. So you're really giving them some definition as to what you want. Okay?
And there is I probably don't want to, you probably don't want me to locate it right now, but for the purposes of your motion, Ms. Driver, I can identify for the clerk the specific clause in the rules and regulations that require a finding of fact. So if you would include that in your motion, I will identify that specific clause. It may be available somewhere between page 39 and 41 if you look, and I don't mind looking as well.
I had it open and then I closed it.
I will say that this is unique. This has never happened.
I believe in
the history of
talking
the
with,
city.
not only, in talking with your HR department, I believe this is the first time in all the years of these rules and regulations that this has presented itself to the council.
Well, you can't say it would never happen, but we are setting a precedent, and we need to do it right, because others will, should it and when it should ever come up again, they will look at how we did it. And we need to make sure that we get it right. Ms. Driver?
Thank you, Mr. President.
Been a long time since I heard that.
So I'll amend my motion to clarify that the written statement of fact that we are remanding this back to the Personnel Board to create for us in accordance with City of Hoover Personnel Policy and Procedure Manual, Step 3 of the grievance procedure, Section X, B as in Bravo, number 4, which provides that the board will hear the employee's grievance, gather pertinent documents, interview witnesses as necessary, prepare a written statement of fact, and submit its finding and determination to the mayor not later than 45 calendar days from the date the grievance was submitted to the board, but within 14 calendar days if possible.
Second.
Very good. That's all you need to present?
I believe so. Unless I'm available for any further questions.
No, I don't think so at this time. Do we have anybody from the public that would like to speak? If you'd please provide your name and what area you reside.
Well, I don't think that really matters. Tommy French, I represent the employee. I reside in Trussville, but
That's all right.
nothing to do with that.
Trussville's a nice place passing through.
I like it. The only statement I would like to make is there was a lot of I thinks, maybes. I think his due process will be good. That's not definitive. This is something that is time sensitive. The time sensitive portions is what we're talking about. And obviously that's within the 14 days of the order. The order by the Personnel Board is in fact deficient. I think I brought that up, and that it's deficient and that it must be dealt with. The way I read the Personnel Policy Board or the policy itself, the decision is final unless the council votes to modify or rescind. I don't see remand written anywhere in the policy at all. This is something that the board, in my opinion, needs to take up today, either to hear it with or without the motions to dismiss or not, and move forward. I have a problem with timeline. It'll be good. I believe so, maybe. Those are not legal standards. Those things make me extremely nervous, and that the next step would be an appeal to the circuit court, and we need to make sure we are on line and in compliance with the Personnel Policy Procedure Book. That's all I would like to say.
Well, I don't believe that we're prepared to hear it tonight.
Well, it would be in the
It's
next two.
probably raining. Your thoughts on an open hearing or a closed hearing?
Well, I agree with the
If,
attorney
if,
before
if,
me.
if
It's
this
so
vote was
clear.
to go through eventually.
I agree that I believe if it doesn't specifically state it must be open, then it could be either. But that's my opinion. I've not researched.
We're concerned about the state sunshine laws to where if
Right.
we have a quorum, then it has to be advertised and it has to be open to the public because we don't have an exemption under the state sunshine law.
Now, if you'd like me to brief that and submit it, I'd be glad to. I have not, as far as tonight, done
What
that.
about the sunshine law?
Well, about this particular issue before.
Oh, okay. Well, anybody else care to speak?
Mr. President, to address your reservation, this council will make sure that it's not an if or but or any of those words that you used. It will be heard one way or the other.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Anything else from the council? With that, Madam Clerk, I'd like you to call the roll. Now, this is for the amended, correct?
Counselor Schultz,
Aye.
Counselor Lovell,
Aye.
Counselor Driver,
Aye.
Counselor Middlebrooks.
He's
Oh,
abstaining.
sorry. Yes, you recused yourself. Counselor McClinton,
Aye.
Counselor Smith.
Aye. Unanimous, 6-0.
Mr. President?
Yes, sir.
I want to clarify something. We had a sidebar here with the clerk. You voted on we've used the term amendment. It was a restated resolution, okay? So there was no reason to vote on the amendment because you didn't have a resolution adopted to amend. So really what you did here was there was a resolution and then there was an offer that was characterized as an amendment, but it was actually a restated resolution. That's what you voted on. Okay?
A restated resolution,
Yes,
not an amended one.
correct.
Do you feel that we need a second vote?
No, I do not.
Very good.
I was just clarifying that for you.
Very good. I'm just making sure. It's been a minute since I held the gavel. All right. Anything else? Mr. President, the gavel returns to you.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. That would have been interesting if Derrick was here. How'd that seniority work out? But glad to have you back as Mr. President. All right, we'll move on to resolution number 878526. Mr. City Attorney.
This is item 19, and it is a resolution authorizing the extension of a letter of intent to sell property located at 3021 Lorna Road. And if this is adopted, it would extend the date to April the 17th, and it would require an additional $10,000 as a non-refundable earnest money. There's been $5,000 paid already, along with invoices for certain items that have been expended, and the earnest money has been delivered in certified funds.
Mr. President, I move to approve resolution number 878526.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions from the council on this issue? Seeing none. Any comments or questions from the public? All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it. We will now open up a public hearing for resolution number 875226, Mr. Attorney.
Excuse me, this is item 20. It's a resolution granting a conditional use approval to allow a drive-through facility for Dutch Brothers Coffee located at 1855 Montgomery Highway.
Mr. President, I move to approve resolution number 875226.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. This is a public hearing. Any comments or questions from the council? No? Any comments or questions from the public on this issue?
Hi, I'm Bob Easley with Alabama Engineering, 1214 Alford Avenue, Hoover. I'm here representing the applicant on this hearing. One of the requirements that was recommended by Planning and Zoning was that a record map be approved to divide this lot out. And one of the requirements for that record map was that a landscaping plan for the entire development, the entire center, be included with that. And I just wanted to bring up that we would like to have the ability to bond for those landscaping improvements so that they can be done in a time of year, which would be the fall, done along with the Dutch Brothers. So we're going to do Dutch Brothers landscaping and maintenance for the whole center, new trees for the ones that have died. We'd like to bond that landscaping work and do it in the fall when it's not so hot, so we don't lose so many of those trees.
Mr. President, Mr. Martin, do you have anything to add?
We find those terms acceptable.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any further comments from the public on this issue? Okay, we'll close the public hearing. Any other comments from the council? Seeing none, all in favor of resolution 875226, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the ayes have it. We will now set a public hearing for resolution number 878326. Mr. Attorney.
This is item 21 on the agenda. It declares as a public nuisance conditions that exist on property located at 3766 Abbey Glen Way in Hoover. And these issues require immediate abatement.
Very good. We will take that up at the next regular scheduled council meeting, March 23rd. And we also have a first reading of ordinance number 262688. Mr. Attorney.
This is an ordinance that authorizes Hoover Fire Department to charge a fee for service for cost recovery of non-emergent lift assist responses to Alabama State Licensed Assisted Living, residential care, and nursing facilities, and other health care providers within the city.
Very good. We will have a second reading on that also at the next regular scheduled meeting and take that up for consideration. Before I pass it along for council comments, I just want to recognize the passing of Captain Bob Beatty, who is a Hoover resident. He served 25 years of distinguished service in the United States Navy, retiring as captain, and was an original member and eventual chair of our Veterans Committee here in Hoover. He gave a great deal to our city, and I just want to recognize his service and condolences to his family. Any further comments from the council?
Mr. President, one of the many duties and functions we fulfill as city councilors, one of the most vital is the appointment of members to the Hoover City Boards of Education. School board consists of 5 members serving staggered 5-year terms. Each year term concludes in May, with the new or reappointing members being sworn in the June Board of Education meeting. These members hold the essential responsibility of hiring the superintendent, who in turn oversees the selection of central office leadership, assistant superintendents, and principals, which the board must approve. These personnel decisions are fundamental to maintaining Hoover City Schools' reputation as one of the premier districts in the state. While state law does not mandate a specific appointment process, a formal procedure was established in 2008 by then City Council Education Committee Chair, Councilor Gene Smith, with the direct input of a dedicated group of stakeholders, including myself. Since its inception, this protocol, which requires a formal application, a comprehensive background check, a public interview in front of the Education Committee, and a signed acknowledgement of the roles, responsibilities, has served our city exceptionally well and resulted in a history of outstanding appointees. This year, the term for current board president, Alan Paquette, is reaching its conclusion. Mr. Paquette has served with distinction over the last 5 years and has expressed his interest in being reappointed for a second term. In accordance with our established process, the city will begin accepting applications for this Board of Education seat starting tomorrow. The application period will remain open until 5 p.m. on Friday, March 20th. Should we receive additional qualified applicants alongside Mr. Paquette, we will schedule public interviews to be held here in these chambers at a date to be announced. Per state law, the final appointment will be made during the second City Council meeting in April. Thank you.
Very good. Any further comments?
Mr. President, I'd like to thank the stormwater folks that are here today. I appreciate you guys for speaking up, and we're listening. Your voice matters, and thank you very much.
All right. Any further comments from council? Mr. Mayor, you have anything to add?
No, I just think it was a great night, and again, I think a lot of us ran the campaign, talked to a lot of the individuals that were out here tonight with what a mess it was, and some of the raging rivers and backyards, and very, very proud of this. The council picking things up and doing what I would say is right for our community. So thank you guys for bringing it to our attention again.
Very good. With that, we're adjourned. Thank you.